James Tynion IV is a name that has become synonymous with the horror genre when it comes to comic books. He's well known for writing Something is Killing the Children, House of Slaughter, Nice House on the Lake, The Department of Truth, and the list goes on and on. But more recently, World Tree is something that he pieced together. I would say this is a blend between The Matrix, Terminator, and It. And I know that's a lot of things blended in together, but stick with me. He seems to do that seamlessly to create something extremely original. Welcome back, my fellow comic book friends, to Comic Casper, and this is a spoiler-free review, as best as I can make it, of World Tree, the first 5 issues, which is the first story arc. So let's kick it. So from the very beginning, we have this attractive young naked lady who sits down on the bed and opens up her laptop to find somebody who's live recording horrific acts of murder and uploading it directly to the internet. And as this lady is watching it, she seems to have a bit of a smirk on her face as this young man is successfully committing these horrific acts. Oh, by the way, I should have probably warned you, there's some nasty explicit material here, so I get it. If you're not into the violent stuff or nudity, then this is probably not a comic book for you, as horror and sci-fi seems to be the main genres that are blended together here. So anyway, this young man, he's creating these horrific acts of violence. And what makes it all the more impactful is the artwork by Fernando Blanco. It's just that level of realism and the sheer terror on people's faces when they are getting jabbed with a knife by this young individual. Now this issue fast forwards through to different areas, introducing us different characters. And some of the main characters seem to be a group of IT specialist individuals who happen to discover the undernet, which is something way below the internet. And they happen to do that about 20 years ago. As to what happened there, well, I guess we get fragments of information, and this is something that James Tynion IV is very good at. He doesn't just explicitly spell everything out. Instead, he implies here and there and everywhere and gives us all of these pieces of the puzzle to put together ourselves, or eventually it just kind of comes together. And that's the beauty, that's the magic, that's the genius behind it, because we have to do part of the work here, because the comic book does demand a level of engagement and attention from us to be able to piece the story together. And I would say it probably has a lot of readability value at the same time, because you might want to go back and forth. Oh, what did I miss here? Oh my god, there was some clues here and there and everywhere. Just like any good HBO TV show, I find that this comic series introduces these characters and manages to move our attention around throughout the whole comic book series. Knowing nowadays how bad our attention span is, this is one comic book that will hold your attention all the way through, and I'm talking each and every single issue. I know myself, when I got through these 5 issues, I realized, whoa, okay, that's the first arc, and I want a whole lot more. Don't take my word for it, there's countless of great reviews coming out about this series, and I'm not surprised. And another thing, why this series is so great, well, it's the endless amounts of reprints, again and again and again, and it's just flying off the shelves all the time because these stories are just so engaging, so horrific. Sometimes you just cannot look away, but it is so intriguing at the same time. You know, the characters are fleshed out more and more as the story goes along. See, it starts off with a big riddle, with this big puzzle that fires up our sense of curiosity and the need for discovery, but then slowly unveils this curtain as to what is it that's truly going on here. Who is the antagonist? Who is this naked woman that seems to relish in violence and at the same time engage in some of that herself? And who are these IT experts who got together a long time ago and something is pulling them together again? And why is it that these detectives are chasing a series of mysterious murders all around the country? And who are they reporting to? I mean, there is just so many questions. In fact, there's more questions than there is answers, but that is a good thing, because that sense of curiosity is what propels you from page to page, wanting to know, oh my god, what the hell is gonna happen next? You know, despite this being a horror-centric comic book, it does have very strong sci-fi elements, and I know if you may not like or be into horror, this is one book that's worth checking out. Horror is not necessarily the be-all and end-all here, and this comic book does an awesome job with seamlessly seamlessly blending these different genres together. The beautiful artwork by Fernando Blanco is just excellent. He uses these soft, colorful tones, but gives us these harsher colors when there's like a sense of danger or violence, or if something horrific is happening, it just really stands out and jumps out at you. Creates for an impactful visual experience. A scary one, but a beautiful one as well. World Tree is a fun and mysterious story, and I'm finally understanding why James Tynion IV is hot property when it comes to a comic book writer. It will take you on some twists and turns, which you probably won't expect, and I didn't either. At first, it's just a little bit jaw-dropping and jarring, but you just kind of go with it sooner or later. And you will love the writer for taking these great risks, which I think a lot of people nowadays maybe fail to do so, or are scared to do so, or perhaps fail to have the capacity to execute it, as well as James Tynion IV. But anyway, that's my very quick review overview of the comic book series. To get the details, you guys have to jump into it yourself. Let me know in the comments below if you have read it and what you think of World Tree. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit it with a like or a dislike if you hated it, and I will hit you up with some more comic book content soon. Until next time.